And I remember that open day very well. There was one professor, Professor Boulay, who I now know as Sanjay and who is here in the audience today, who was especially telling about strategically placing ambulances across the Netherlands in such a way that their response times to accidents considerably lowered. So he was actually saving lives with mathematics. How cool, right?
I'm a PhD student and I spend my time studying AI. You might have heard of it. And while day to day I'm into the technical details, I often think about how our world will change when we let machines have more and more influence on our lives. There's these, for example, in the Instagram case, it's powered by this massive recommender system that tracks everything I do online and knows exactly what video, short 10-second video, to show me to keep me glued a bit longer.
My name is Nadia and I'm a statistician. I would like to start by gathering some data from you. And I want to ask you, who believes in destiny? If you believe in destiny, can you raise your hand? I see some people over there, a bit of an unbalanced distribution. And yeah, I agree with some of you, or most of you. As a statistician, I'm quite a rational person, and I don't really believe in stuff like God or destiny, but well, once in my life these beliefs were challenged, because once in my life a miracle happened to me. And today I want to tell you the story of this miracle.
It was something that I really enjoyed as a kid, and something that I start to appreciate even more after my master's in mathematics. And that thing is broccoli. I advocate for broccoli as the best vegetable out there. It has an interesting texture, a healthy green color, as opposed to the cauliflower. The taste is amazing, and in Brazil, where I'm from, this type of broccoli is called ninja broccoli, so even the name is cool. But of course, I'm not talking about broccoli today because of this. Like any other kid, I used to play with my food, and broccoli was no exception. I would take a piece of broccoli, I would cut the stem, and I would end up with a smaller piece of broccoli.
Even though I dismissed it, it kept bugging me. And so at some point I decided to get tested. I play with the other kids during recess. Agree or disagree? I think you gave me the wrong test. Nah, we don't usually get people your age, so just fill this one out, it's the only one we have. Okay, I play with the other kids during recess. Agree. I share my toys with the other kids. Agree. Keep in mind, I was 18 at the time. Well, after a lot of other tests, I got the results. I have ADHD. A weight was lifted off my shoulders. It wasn't all my fault. It was the ADHD's fault. I imagined a world in which I didn't have ADHD. All the assignments I would have certainly submitted weeks before the deadline. All the exams I would have definitely got an 11 out of 10 on. All the things I could have done. I started thinking about this me without the ADHD. When it got time to choose a study, I chose mathematics.
The statisticians at the time thought that measuring the circumference of your skull could predict your intelligence, or that the size of your nose decides whether you would be a criminal or not. Now, for about 30 years, we've settled the academic debate. We know that human race is not a biological thing. In fact, any arbitrary group or race you might define, the variance within that group will always be larger than the variance between those groups that you define. But all the excitement at the time led to some dark history. It was a time where empirical data and correlation overtook sound scientific reasoning and causation. And now today again, we find ourselves at a time of great excitement, a rediscovery of the predictive power of data.
This was an image coming from a song by Lucio Corsi. Lucio Corsi is an Italian songwriter that you might have heard if you watched the last Eurovision. But as old school fans, I I like to say, I knew him before. Not to show any type of superiority, but because I want to tell you a story that happened before that. So it was 2021. I was living in Trieste, then Torino, then Paris, and I was studying physics of complex systems. And you might think, do physicists ever study anything simple? No. But complex systems is a subject that studies when systems have many small parts that interact with each other and they create something unexpected.
In that small, quiet moments, the field felt alive, full of equations. And the question I had calmed down as I felt the whole field exhaling with me. And then I woke up. I truly woke up this time. I was in my bed again. The room smelled like lavender